You want to know why your upper pecs aren't growing? Take a listen.
Always want to make sure you keep your lower back flush to the pad. If you start to arch your back, you're going to change the trajectory that it's going to hit on your chest.
Not only have I said this once, I've said it dozens and dozens of times. Well, hopefully, finally, you're going to listen to Kim Otto, who's been around forever, twice as long as I have.
Arching your thoracic does not take away from targeting the upper pec. What actually determines which portion of the pec is biased is the elbow positioning and the arm path, not whether or not you have an arch. Arching your back increases stability and force transfer, which actually enhances your ability to press heavier and more effectively. Elevating the sternum stabilizes the shoulder girdle by positioning the scapula more effectively on the rib cage. This creates a solid foundation for pressing and minimizes unnecessary shoulder blade movement. The bench acts as a counter-pressure surface within itself, and a stronger arch maximizes this compression, much like leg drive in a flat bench press, allowing for increased force output. Now let's talk about elbow positioning. Many people assume that just because you're pressing on an incline, they're biasing the upper pec, but that's not necessarily the case. If your elbows are highly flared out, your arm path becomes more horizontal, which means that the sternocostal portion of the pec, so the mid-pec, is doing the majority of the work. And that's because horizontal adduction is its primary function in this position. To actually target the upper pec, you need a pressing angle that includes both shoulder flexion and slight horizontal adduction. This means keeping your elbows flared only slightly, so somewhere in between the 30 to 45 degrees of shoulder adduction. So now the arm path moves up and forward rather than just straight across. And this ensures that the upper pecs are contributing more to the movement. Even if you're pressing on a flat bench, you're still getting some upper pec involvement because there's always a mix of horizontal adduction and shoulder flexion. But if you're pressing on an incline with the right elbow positioning, you naturally emphasize the shoulder flexion, which increases upper pec activation. It's nothing to do with keeping your back on the pad. And to wrap it up, I wouldn't be taking advice from Kim Otto for training.
And we're going to finish off this little glute exercise with some side band walkings.
Just saying.